Don't leave me hanging. It's go time.
Hey everybody, this is Josh, and here we have a lovely, splendid game between Mao's MorroW, the Red Zerg on top of Lost Temple, and his opponent KiWiKaKi of Root Gaming, the blue Protoss on the right side. This game is actually not from a tournament, it's just a game. It's a ladder game, best of one, there's not going to be any continuation. This game is just really sick, so I'm going to cast it for you guys. And I actually found this replay on root-gaming.com. The Root guys like to put up some good replays now and then, so yeah, this one's very recent. It's very good. Mao's MorroW, if you don't know, is a Swedish Terran-turned-Zerg player. He played Terran for a very long time, including the beta, and then switched to Zerg just to prove that he's a really good player and he can play any race. And actually it's true, because MorroW is really freaking good at Zerg, and he says he can play Terran in his sleep. KiWiKaKi, you should know by now as well, at least from MLG. He had some monster showings, always puts up a good series against whoever he plays, and he is a very innovative, entertaining player. Always plays Protoss, does some crazy things with warp-ins, blink stalkers, DTs, all kinds of stuff like that, so hopefully he'll be able to put on a good show. MorroW, on the other hand, just a very, very solid mechanical player. He has not gotten any spawning pool or hatchery up just yet, and actually is going to get an extractor before he gets anything else at 14 supply. Interesting stuff. KiWiKaKi, on the other hand, forced to build that pylon and then gateway. Over at the ramp, of course, it's still good to wall off as best you can against Zerg opponents. Speedlings can just be a pain in the ass. Spawning pool is coming down now for MorroW. This is just your classic Speedling first build. KiWiKaKi sitting here at the natural hatchery location. MorroW, of course, sees this with his Overlord floating right overhead. And so KiWiKaKi is basically just waiting for some lings to come out and chase away his probe, but that's okay. At least it will delay MorroW that long. Assimilator up before Cybernetics Core, of course, should be seeing that pylon, and then another, actually a Cybernetics Core, a first Cybernetics Core coming up next. MorroW, on the other hand, spawning pool just about to finish. These guys actually played against each other recently for the StarCraft Reddit Invitational, and it was one of the craziest series ever, like in StarCraft 2, of all time, because it was just insane. There were some really long games, some really solid play from both guys, and this was just a ladder game, but it must have happened shortly after that because it was uploaded just yesterday, I believe, so we'll see what actually ends up happening. KiWiKaKi dropping just another pylon after the Cybernetics Core starts to finish. You'll notice that the probe has now fled. He's fled, because MorroW is ready to drop that hatchery there. He had plenty of Zerglings there to assist him in taking that spot if KiWiKaKi was going to be try to be annoying. Here we see KiWiKaKi actually let his probe run all the way down the left side of the map here at this left spawn location. He's got it on its own control group. You can see that ring around it appearing and disappearing as he selects it. MorroW splitting up his Zerglings. Some of them went to the Zelnaga Tower just to get some vision, and a couple are just going to poke the front here. Of course, once this first stalker comes out, these lings will be totally obsolete, because they won't be able to hit anything without that stalker just killing them. The Zealot, KiWiKaKi not going for the bait, not trying to kill off those lings and risking letting one in. There you see that stalker very quickly coming down here to take out a Zergling's not going to manage to get one though. And we still have at least one Zergling here at the Zelnaga Tower, another one at the northwest tower. That probe of KiWiKaKi still in its control group, still being selected over and over. I'm not sure when he's going to do it, but I'm pretty sure that it's there for some proxy pylon action. MorroW, his second hatchery is about to finish. He's already got 2 queens. Always good to see. He's actually getting a 3rd queen preemptively too, so I'm not sure if that means he's going to expand again or just have some extra defense in case KiWiKaKi comes knocking on his door. KiWiKaKi is going to expand here at his natural just shortly after MorroW's is actually complete. We see 3 gates here, so nice 3-gate expand build out of KiWiKaKi. Now he's going to start to build out in front for faster warp-ins as well as partial wall-off. I expect to see, I don't know, another gateway or a forge or something continuing to make a hook there. Still watching this probe. I know he's going to do something. There's no reason for him to have his own control group and be hidden away like that unless he's going to be doing something sneaky. And MorroW, oh, that 3rd queen was for creep tumors. MorroW actually pretty well known by now for his excellent creep spread. Once he gets that lair up, he'll get his overlords in on the action as well. Another pylon coming down in front of the natural expansion here for Kiwi. Going to try and keep that wall off as solid as he can. Lair coming in now for MorroW. Also a Roach Warren and a Evolution Chamber. MorroW and KiWiKaKi are both very good about getting their unit upgrades. I don't see a forge yet out of KiWiKaKi, but I can't imagine that it'll be too long before we do see one. Probe, what are you doing? What are you doing, Probe? Just hanging out still? Alright, I'm keeping an eye on you, though. Don't you do anything crazy. MorroW, on the other hand, nothing crazy. Just lings, just drones, for the time being. That Roach Warren is going to finish now. Evolution Chamber is up, but he hasn't started to build anything with it yet. We'll see what upgrades he chooses to go for first. You know, could be either, and now actually with the Evolution Chamber selected, we see that it is missile attacks level 1. The lair is finishing in 2 more seconds, so maybe Hydralisk's Den will come right after. We'll see. He hasn't built any roaches yet, so that upgrade is not really affecting anything. KiWiKaKi now moving through the middle of the map here with a bunch of Stalkers, Sentries, and a Zealot. MorroW might not have enough fighting units to actually deal with this. Luckily for him, he does have 2 spine crawlers coming up and a plethora of queens and lings here, so barring any insane micro out of KiWiKaKi, I think MorroW should be able to hold up against this. It's actually not that many units. Oh, Probe, I caught you building that pylon. You thought you were sneaky. But the Probe of KiWiKaKi finally builds a pylon way down there on the bottom left side, and now he's starting to move his probe again. Still has him in his own control group. KiWiKaKi actually evacuating from the front of MorroW's base. Roaches are now coming out in pretty good numbers here. I don't see a Hydralisk Den or Spire or any further tech coming for MorroW yet. Oh, the probe actually building another proxy pylon a bit closer this time to the natural of MorroW. We used to see pylons be built like here or here so they could warp in across and be very, very close to the Zerg opponent, but now it looks like players have gotten savvy to that, and Overlords with their great vision put an end to that sort of business. But KiWiKaKi actually not being too specific with his tech right now, getting 1 Stargate and a robotics facility. He did get his forge up while that attack was going on up at the front, so now he is getting +1 weapons. MorroW actually going to finish his +1 attack here soon as he throws up a Hydralisk Den and a Spire right next to each other there. Also getting Roach Speed, of course, one of the most valuable upgrades for Zerg in the entire game, next to Overlord Speed. And you can try to figure out if I'm being sarcastic or not, but I really do think Overlord Speed is like the greatest upgrade of all time. It's super cheap and fast. It's like amazing for its value, but getting those Overlords to run away. But Roach Speed, just awesome. Void Ray coming out quite quickly out of KiWiKaKi. He got an Observer out of that robotics facility, which is, you know, to be expected. These pylons hanging out on the left side of the map still haven't had anything warp in. MorroW running a Zergling back and forth, patrolling these next 2 bases of KiWiKaKi's to make sure he doesn't expand. Of course, he's not going to be able to watch this gold, or his Zergling will be killed. MorroW is taking the gold of his own there. He's moving these spine crawlers up slowly as he starts to move. Actually, they might just end up there for the, you know, the rest of the game. Creep tumors all over the place, but KiWiKaKi does have an Observer out, so he will be able to start killing off these creep tumors if he chooses to move with a lot of his forces. Of course, that'll give time for MorroW to set up a defense. Now, +1 weapons are about to be finished for both players. +1 range already done for MorroW. What is starting to move in here? A single Void Ray got a kill. Must have just been a Zergling. This probe actually coming along as well. I think that might have just been a mistake. But Void Ray, ooh, killing off creep tumors with the Observer in tow. I like that move. The probe from the beginning of the game is still hanging out on the left side of the map. Nothing has been warped in over there yet. Oh, what's this? Holy crap, mothership. Totally missed the fleet beacon coming down, but there is a mothership building here at the main base of KiWiKaKi, so we are going to see some, probably one of the rarest units in the entire game actually is a mothership. KiWiKaKi actually well known for his mothership shenanigans. He has some great uses for them, and I believe we will see some nice mothership spells going off during this this nice ladder game against MorroW. MorroW, on the other hand, just building some of everything. He's got a lot of Hydras, Roaches, and Lings out right now, still pumping drones, Overlords, expanding right on time. Both players on 3 bases. KiWiKaKi will be on 3 bases anyway soon. But MorroW does have the advantage for the time being. If you look at worker counts, MorroW is only ahead by 2 drones. That's pretty interesting. Zerg should typically have a lot more drones. Only 2 is a bit surprising, but that mothership should be out, as my game did just lag, and there it is floating across easily through the sky, cloaking everything underneath it. I like the mothership. Now he's just going to have this thing sit around and get some energy. He's cloaking the front defense here of his natural. I like that. Or maybe he's going to continue on and cloak the third base here at the gold and get these cannons cloaked as well. It's a good static defense to have, invisible cannons. So MorroW is actually double expanding here. He missed this pylon and the one down at the south end of this spawn. So he's double expanding, trying to get an economic lead to maintain during the entire game. KiWiKaKi starting to move now. He did blink with those stalkers to get them out of harm's way. Good force fields down there. Ooh, Corruptors came out and